Good afternoon, everyone. Hello, hello, hello. And welcome back. Hello. Happy Easter, everybody. Hello, hello. Welcome to the Monday stream. Today is actually going to be a shorter stream. I know I said that last week. Last week I went like, oh no, it's just going to be a short stream. And then we were there for 6 hours anyway. But today is going to be a shorter stream. I need to prepare for a couple of things tomorrow morning. And I lost track of time the entire morning today, so I have to do all of that this evening. But we at least have a bit of time. So hello everyone, welcome to the Monday stream. I hope you all had a great weekend, and I hope you have a wonderful start to your week. Hello Galondier, congratulations on the first. Good afternoon, Renoa. Good afternoon, Renoa. Arian, hello, Arian. Can say good afternoon. And thank you for the hydrate. We'll get there in a second. Thank you very much. Wheeze, good afternoon, Wheeze. Hello, hello, hello. How are you? And EA, good afternoon. Hope you're well. Hello everybody, welcome on in. Button works. Button does work. Button does work. Would you believe it? Would you believe that? I have some overhauling to do with not with Discord, with OBS in the next couple of days as well. I'm pretty sure I'm going to leave that until like Wednesday or Sunday so that I have the day to work on it. Nah. I want to like redo a bunch of my setup. But this time it's only the visual parts. The audio is shit anyway. I give up. I give up. I've seen some of the dumbest people I've ever met figure out like really good audio setups. And for some reason I can't. I don't know. I had to, because we were doing the sponsored Temtem stream last week, right? Which I've played a bunch more off stream. Game's fucking fun. But after I did that, I needed to send them proof of work. It's pretty standard, right? You like have some sort of sponsored stream, and then they either want you to send them the VOD or like a link to the content that you posted. If you make like edited content, then a link to the video, right? Whatever it is you're making. So I did that, but in order to do that, I had to find like the timestamps and everything. So I had to watch through my own stream. And I do that fairly frequently anyway, but my god, my audio is so fucking dog shit. God, the amount of like random noise breathing in every bit of audio is so bad. And I just can't figure it out. I've tried everything from people just like telling me what to do, and like everyone will just go like, oh yeah, just adjust your noise gate. And like, adjust it to what? None of these numbers make sense. Ah! There are some things that I just can't wrap my head around, and anything audio related is such a thing. So, I give up. But I want to set up like reset up like a bunch of the visual stuff, right? Fix a couple of the layers, fix a couple of the sources that over the years have accrued, cut a couple of things. Because right now there's like loads upon loads of different sources that I'm usually pretty good at pruning, but every now and again one sneaks in there, and then another one, and then another one, and then another one. And all of a sudden I have like layers here that I don't even know what half of them do anymore. Ah, this is the one that says fire. That one makes sense. This one just says fire, and I feel like I understand what that does. But does that need to be there? I don't know. But I'll leave that for somewhere later in the week. Today, I want to talk to you all about just like general stuff, like a bit of yapping, and then we'll play some light boats, and then I'll already have to leave. Don't have too much time today, unfortunately, but I want to get at least a bit of a stream in. I know that with the way that I do my schedule, we talked about this like last year or something, right? Usually there is a Monday stream, but every now and again I'm just going to cancel Monday for like family reasons. And we've done that quite frequently. The Monday's always up for debate, but I wanted to get at least like an hour or two with you all, simply because like last week was so sparse already, right? Last week was so sparse already, so I wanted to do it this week, like start it off, hang out a little bit instead of going like, okay, we'll meet on Tuesday. I try to be effort in healing this month. Silver linings, Weez, silver linings. Ooh, Weez, can I send you another duck to Wigglyfy? Can I send you another duck for the Wigglies? By any chance? Of course. Thank you. You are wonderful. Let me send you a duck. There you go. Ta-da! Eldu! Dear God, it's a duck. Hello, Eldu. Lunch with your parents? Hell yeah, yeah. Wonderful. Wonderful, wonderful. I have the card for it. I wonder if there are any animated slots left and how the art budget is looking. The art budget is looking fine. The animated slots. What are you looking? What? Really quickly, bring me up to speed, Kensei. I might have a bit of a case of the stupid today. But the art budget's fine on account of the main struggle, and I know this has been a problem for like half a fucking year, and honestly I should have fixed it by now, but the problem is always finding an artist for things. What are you looking for? And then I can answer the other like slot question. The opening song today kind of makes me want an emote of a duck strumming a guitar. Ooh, cute. Hold up, let me have a look. So, emote slots themselves are an issue on base account of we have. I say this. I remember back when we had 5 emotes. I remember when you didn't have any emotes as an affiliate, right? So like me going like, ooh, emote slots are such an issue. We obviously have 40 bloody slots now, which is a lot. We have way more than that in emotes, by the way. Way more than that. We can probably find space for it, I suppose. We can probably find space for it. I think I'd commission Kuma for it. Kuma. Kuma is the one that made the, when we're talking animated emotes, the fire and the loading emote. Kuma did both of those. Wonderful, wonderful artist. Really, really good. I do have paint on this computer. Wonderful, Elder. Good luck with that. And Alex, good afternoon, Alex. Hello. If you can't find an animator, you can just find an artist and I could animate the emote. So a while ago, not to belittle your skills or anything, like you're doing so well. This is something that we already kind of have a solution for. A while ago, someone made a program and put it on Steam. There's like an emote thing. It's a tool they put on Steam. I forgot the name of it, but basically it does exactly that. You can upload art to it, and it does like the animations and everything. It looks really, really good. But one thing that Emote Lab, that's it. Thank you, Weez. That's exactly the name of it. One thing that I personally don't like is the emotes where you can tell that it's a static image that someone's just like stretching and moving around, right? Ignore the raw emote. That one's legacy. But that's mostly what people mean when they mean like, oh yeah, like I animated it. They just like kind of like drag it around a little bit and like just they deform it, right? Like, and then just like call that animation, which isn't like particularly great for emotes, in my opinion. If you have a couple of frames, that usually goes much better because like everything's so compact, so small. I don't know. For like things that minute, I prefer them being like in actual frames drawn that way, instead of like then like taking existing art and then like animating it. I at the end of the day, I don't know anything about the process, neither how it works nor what people do with it. But I've seen enough emotes in other channels where like, yeah, that's pretty clearly what people are doing with it. And it's like, lacks a bit of the expression. You know what I mean? And for something that's literally supposed to emote, I don't know. Now, Kuma does animated emotes as well now. He originally only did statics. Like before, a couple statics, like the tinfoil hat emote, for example. That's Kuma. The hype one is also Kuma. The scheme one, still one of my favorites personally. Like all of that is Kuma's work, right? So, like I've worked with him for like already. So I just need to message him about it. Speaking of, let me boot that up real quick. Let me see. There we go. Wonderful. Whew. Simple motions can be decent in it, but anything complex, I 100% agree. What? Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah, as a reference, as an example. I suppose. Like I said, I don't know anything about it. But with emotes, maybe it's me being weird, right, Reese? But like with emotes, especially if you commission someone, like you commission artists and go like, hey, can you make me an emote? And they go like, yeah, would you like a static or an animated one? And then you ask them like, hey, make me a static one. I'm gonna have someone else animate it. I think they're gonna look at you funny. And obviously I need to ask them for permission, like, anyway. I can't just go like, yeah, make me an emote, and then, like, never talk to them ever again, then have someone else animate it. Like, that does feel like asking someone to sell you, like, a bottle of water, but only sell me the bottle, I'll get the water somewhere else. Which is, you know, good luck. Oh my god, the avalanche! Hold up, what's happening? Kensei, thank you for the packs. And yeah, absolutely. So you would like a duck strumming a guitar as an emote. I'll message Kuma about it. That should be relatively simple. And Magnus, hello Magnus. Hold up, let me write that down real quick so I don't forget about it. Where are my sticky notes? Why are my sticky notes closed? There we go. This can all go. Okay, gotcha. So like the least I can do with it, Kensei, is like it's obviously going up on Discord. So as far as emotes for the channel are concerned, we're still obviously at a size for emotes where I would like all of the emotes to do something, and I don't know whether that one would do anything, considering we already have like a sing emote and a dance emote and yada yada yada, right? Like it's one of those where it's like, okay, so this is like the nth iteration of a concept that we've already kind of got represented. but we'll at least like get a commission and then put it on Discord. And I'm pretty sure we have like a slot to cut somewhere. We'll see. Honestly, Magnus, the Hatpad emote was from a batch that I commissioned off of an artist that I haven't really worked with after that. Kibu. Kibu is largely a rigger, as far as I understand. They did like a bunch of rigging for like one of Lucky's models. Don't ask me which one. I lost track. And it is, in terms of like overall, probably my favorite emote. Yeah, it is like by far the most adorable fucking thing I've ever seen. Obviously, you can say I'm biased, and you wouldn't be wrong. I'm obviously very biased, but it's also the cutest Hatpad emote I've ever seen. Also, hold up, let me grab your duckling. I haven't forgotten you. I've just been talking. You can tell my voice is a bit fucked. For all of those that were on Discord earlier, my voice is a bit shot. It was shot before we were doing Discord shenanigans. It will be shot afterwards. Don't worry, nothing's wrong. I just yelled a lot. It's not yelling, I just talked a lot. Lots of talking over the weekend. So I'm a bit strained, but nothing stressful. All friends and family. All good times. So it'll be fine. This is another good reason to do a short stream today. No, you can if you want to, Magnus. That's absolutely fine. I'm going to be talking while I'm on stream anyway. So by all means, like, don't let anything stop you. Like, while I'm here, I will be talking anyway. What I talk about is a different, is a different beast entirely, right? But yeah, so what we're doing today is apparently we're going to read law. Okay, hold up. All right, Magnus. Goddamn. Give me. Oh, Matu! Thank you for the 55. Thank you very much. Thank you, Matu. How you doing? Good morning. Give me a letter. Is that how we did this? I always forgot how we did this. Yeah, give me a letter. Like A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Why did I just explain to someone what a letter is? Magnus knows this. What the fuck? Everyone else, get out your pieces of paper and pens. This will be on the test. All of this will be on the test. Okay, Magnus, S is a dangerous category because it is one of the longest categories in the entire registry. So normally I'd ask you to give me a number between 1 and however many entries there are, but I'm not going to fucking count that much. So I am just going to pick something. I'm just going to scroll randomly. Very, 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 very randomly. Up and down and up and down and up and down. And then we'll see where we are, and then I'll ask you about a number. This is very fitting. Wonderful. So, today's legal reading, today's law read will be from the Seeschifffahrtsstraßenordnung. How the fuck am I translating that? It's the boat law. it's just the boat law. This is perfect. Your Binnenschiffe? Not quite. Doesn't someone has forgotten what an alphabetical letter is low but never quite zero? You're right, Kensei. It's never quite zero, but still. Hey, Krembo, good evening. How you doing? So this is, Seeschifffahrt is the, like ocean-going vessels, right? Like we're not talking about like river traveling vessels. We're talking about like ocean traveling vessels. I legitimately have no idea what's in this, and I do not know how to translate it either. Oh no, it's not that. It's Seeschifffahrtsstraßen. It's like shipping lanes. It's the shipping lanes. Fuck it. I'm gonna look at it. What is this? Yeah, this isn't for. It is about boats, but it is about shipping lanes specifically. This is the shipping or like ocean shipping lane law. There we go. Shipping lanes are on the ocean generally. You do have to remember that we are a country that gets crossed by the Rhine. And the Rhine is a giant fuck-off river that has some major shipping and cargo shipping traffic flow through it. So, no? Don't think so? It was like, a bot! No, it's Eldu getting caught by Automod. Lol. I like this educating my viewers on randomly selected law topics and they become lawyers segment. That's exactly what this is. So Magnus, would you please give me a number between 1 and 62? Would you please? This is Turbots, those are nice. That's true. What was wrong with my message, Automod? What's wrong with your message, Elder, is that we have Automod set to like lowest possible settings. I have it off most of the time, but there's a couple of banned phrases. And one thing that all of the ViewBot assholes do for their promotion is buy viewers on. And you used viewers on. Because they tend to scramble all of their letters and words around. Like, we have quite an exhaustive list of like those phrases specifically being marked by Automod. And just like that combination is what flagged you. You didn't do anything wrong. You just overlapped with a portion of what those scam assholes put in their spam messages. That's all. What if the viewers are off? I mean, aren't they always? All right, so you said 42. Okay, so we're not learning what this is. We're just diving straight in. Welcome to the 7th book. Well, it's not the 7th book. It's the 7th part of the shipping lane, or the ocean shipping lane law. And in its 7th part, paragraph 42 is an addendum for the for the orders for the north to east sea or north to east coast canal. Remember, Germany has 2 coasts. They're both in the north, so don't get confused. One of them is the North Sea. One of them is the east. Don't worry about that part. And like part 7 is an addendum for the canal connecting them. Paragraph 42 is how do I put this? The permit. All right, everyone, you got your books out? Good. Paragraph 42. Zulassung. Der Nord-Ostsee-Kanal darf von Fahrzeugen sowie von Schub- und Schleppverbänden nur befahren werden, wenn erstens die nach § 60 Absatz 1 bekannt gemachten Abmessungen nicht überschritten werden, zweitens die Stabilität und Manövrierfähigkeit gewährleistet ist, drittens der Rudertagelanzeiger ausreichend beleuchtet ist, viertens keine Gegenstände über die Bordwand hinausragen und fünftens die Sicherheit und Leichtigkeit des Verkehrs nicht in anderer Weise beeinträchtigt ist. Dies gilt für schwimmende Geräte und schwimmende Anlagen entsprechend. 2. Bei Schleppverbänden muss sichergestellt sein, dass eine Geschwindigkeit von 9 Kilometern, 4,9 Seemeilen in einer Stunde eingehalten werden kann und sich auf jedem Anhang mindestens 2 schifffahrtskundige Personen befinden. 3. Fahrzeuge, die bestimmte gefährliche Güter, Paragraph 2 Absatz 1 Nummer 16 befördern, sind spätestens bei der Anmeldung nach Paragraph 43 als solche anzuzeigen. Dies gilt nicht für Kriegsfahrzeuge, Fahrzeugführer von gelöschten Tankschiffen. What? Hold up. Dies gilt nicht für Kriegsfahrzeuge. Fahrzeugführer von gelöschten Tankschiffen haben mit der Anmeldung eine schriftliche Erklärung über die Gasfreiheit des Fahrzeugs vorzulegen. Fahrzeuge, die gefährliche Güter der Klassen 1 bis 9 des IMDG-Code Deutsch befördern, haben die nach Kapitel 7 Regel 5 Nummer 5 der Anlage zum internationalen Übereinkommen von 1974 zum Schutz des menschlichen Lebens auf See, Verordnung vom 11. Januar 1979, BGBI 1979 2S 141, zuletzt geändert durch Verordnung vom 24. April 1997, Cutout, mitzuführende Verzeichnisse oder Staupläne während der Kanalfahrt griffbereit auf der Brücke vorzuhalten. Satz 4. Die Verwendung automatischer Steueranlagen oder Kabelfernbedienungsanlagen ist nur unter dem Paragraph 60 Absatz 1 bekannt gemachten Voraussetzungen gestattet. Satz 5. Nach Paragraph 60 Absatz 1 bekannt gemachte Fahrzeuge haben für die Kanalfahrt von dieser Behörde als zuverlässig und mit den Verhältnissen auf dem Nord-Ostsee-Kanal vertraut anerkannte Kanalsteuerer in bekannt gemachter Zahl anzunehmen. Satz 1 gilt nicht erstens für die Fahrtstrecke zwischen den Kanalschleusen Brunsbüttel und dem Kanal Kilometer 6. Zweitens für die Fahrtstrecke zwischen der Kanalschleuse Kiel-Holtenau und der westlichen Begrenzung der Weiche Schwartenbeck. Und drittens für Fahrzeuge des öffentlichen Dienstes und für Kriegsfahrzeuge. Satz 6. Fahrzeugen, die die Voraussetzungen nach Absätzen 1 bis 5 nicht erfüllen, kann das zuständige Wasser- und Schifffahrtsamt die Durchfahrt verweigern oder unter Auflagen gestatten. Satz 7. Fahrzeuge dürfen außerhalb der weichen Gebiete, öffentlichen Häfen, Umschlags- und sonstigen Liegestellen aus anderen als verkehrsbedingten Gründen nicht liegen. Okay, you got all of this? Everyone got all of this down? I trust you got all of this down. Good thing warships are excluded. Yeah, right? Good thing, like, warships can just, like, ignore all of this. Matu, thank you for the 100 streak. And that's all, you hit the 100. What the hell? First one to hit the 100. Well done, Matu. What the hell? I heard there was German bureaucracy in that game as fast as I could. Hello, MJM. Good afternoon. That makes sense. I mean, one of the stipulations is literally that your ship may not go through this canal if anything, like, reaches over the railing, right? Because you could, like, damage the canal or other boats or whatever. It makes sense that warships are excluded from this on account of them having giant fucking cannons. Checks notes, yeah, you said sex once. I did. You're right. Well done. Good to know where I need to store my documentation. Auf der Brücke! I am glad you made me read something to do with boats. This is very fitting. Well done, well done. See, now that we've all learned something, I've never read this in my life. I have never read this in my life. Now that we've all learned something, we can move on. Right? We can move on. It's done already, Weiss? Oh, that's crazy. That's crazy work. That is absolutely crazy work. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So. I have neglected to actually make a schedule this week. That's not because there isn't a schedule this week. There is absolutely... What was that? Did you see that? Did you see that flicker on screen, or was I hallucinating? The fuck was that? Interesting. Does it specify anything about how sharp a warship's cannons need to be? I'm sure the Dean knows. Well, this one doesn't concern itself with that specifically, and remember that German legal documentation and the Dean are two very different institutions. Now that you know a little something about boats, you're going to daydream about a possible coincidence where you get to use that knowledge for the next week. Absolutely. And then you can say, look at me, I know so much about German law. And it's so that military things don't have to abide by some things rather than being forbidden from passing through. Yeah, like, who's going to stop them? Like the little fishing trawlers? Obviously not. Now, so I haven't made a schedule for this week, largely because I don't want to say I forgot. Like, I knew I was going to have to make one, and then I put it off, and then I put it off another day, and then I put it off, and well, now there's stream. So I want to talk to you all about this week's schedule. We're pretty much going business as usual. Pretty much going business as usual. Tomorrow. So today, short stream, bit of yapping, tiny bit of boats, and then I'm going to fuck off. You'll be rid of me really quickly. Tomorrow, on the other hand, we have Quill and Hannah back with us to play our second round of Eversiege. We kind of threatened you all with it last week already, after the developers had said that they were going to patch like a lot about the game. And lo and behold, they have. There have already been multiple patches. I've played a bunch more off stream. I've run into, still there's some stability issues. There's, interestingly enough, stability issues that we didn't have during our original stream. But by far and large, it's playable. And like we threatened you with, we are doing another session this week, and that's tomorrow. So we'll have Quill and Hannah back to play some more Eversiege, which turns out is really, really fun. I have some concerns about like where the game stands at the moment, but as it is right now, I'm nowhere near like end game or like finished game enough to like really have a stance on this. So we'll talk about that when we talk about it, right? But yeah, that's tomorrow. And then Thursday, normal stream, we're doing something. Friday, normal stream, we're doing something, I think. There isn't anything special, right? There isn't anything special? I don't think there is. But on Saturday, this Saturday, we are finally kicking off Primal Season 2. So our first session with the new Primal set will begin. We found all of the expansions. We managed to find a way to hack all of them together. They're all in pretty non-compatible form, so we have to do some manual trickery. We're going to be playing with all of the new boards. So every monster like spawns in its own habitat now that has like different things that happen on the board. We're going to be playing with 4 new characters. Obviously, dual blades and gun that were already available. And then the new spear and drum character. So it's going to be an entirely new set of characters. And in general, it's going to be really cool. I will be reading through all the story again. I will be going through all of the story again. So for those of you that missed Season 1, don't worry about it. That's what's going to be cool. And hopefully we'll see lots of cool new monsters that we didn't see on the first play around. We saw less than half the creatures. So there is really good potential. Really, really good potential. And that's this week. That is this week. Then next week, stuff. Next week's VTuber Board Game Night. But I am kind of comfortably, I have to say, in hold mode until like the next big playthrough. We know that at the end of throughout April, there's a bunch of things coming out throughout April, right? We know that at the end of April we will see The Expanse going into beta, early access, whatever the hell they called it, I forgot. Like, that'll be really cool to check out. Always love me an Owlcat game. Even though my Expanse knowledge is the first 3 seasons. Maybe I should watch the rest of the show. Maybe I should. And like, what else? There was like more stuff, right? Didn't we also get? Wasn't like Ratatan also going into 1.0? I think Ratatan was going to 1.0. No, Ratatan goes to 1.0 in July. Never mind. That'll be cool, by the way. I want to do like a lot of Ratatan once that hits 1.0. Like, we'll probably reset the save file, then just go through the entire thing. I don't watch shows, so I'll be going into Owlcat's Expanse game blind. I'm kind of like that too, Kremvo. I'm kind of like that too. I don't really watch a lot of shows or shows at all unless someone else makes me. And I remember the first time I tried to watch The Expanse, I made it like 5 episodes in. And I was like, oh, this is cool. And then the next time that the idea came up to watch something, I just never went back. And then Hannah and I watched a bunch of it together because it was like, yeah, I should probably watch this, right? So like we sat down and we watched like a couple of seasons this time around. And I was really intrigued by it. But for those of you that have seen the show, I don't want to spoil too much of it for those of you that haven't. You know that there is a switch in general narrative, right? And like perspective, like a perspective change as well. And I wasn't really interested in the new perspective they were picking up. Like, for me, the show lost a lot of momentum when... And I'm not going to mention... Obviously, it's an older show, so like I shouldn't even be worried about spoilers too much, but... There is a major happening, like, relatively early on, and I lost a lot of interest when that happened. So, A drum character is a sort of legally distinct hunting horn I'm too compelled to understand. Aldo, you have to understand the following. The gun character in Primal, they are wielding a weapon called a gun bow. Now, that is obviously completely different from Monster Hunter's bow gun. One of them is a bow with a gun. The other one is a gun with a bow. You have to understand the nuance, right? The fine lines drawn in the sand between the two. Obviously, entirely different concepts. So yes. Watched all seasons in English on a Discord server. I mean, oh, hell yeah, hell yeah. Also showing it in German TV at them on Tele5. I don't even know what that channel is. Yeah, I have to admit, I haven't owned, like we haven't had a television set connected to receive television signal in this house for ever. We obviously have televisions here, but that's because, like, Kari's a console player. But the last time I had active television was when I was still living by myself. And that was over 15 years ago. 13 years ago. Over 13 years ago. My god, all the years are flowing together. So I know fuck all about television. Like, especially German television. I know nothing about it. Owlcat seemingly making 2 different RPGs at the same time has me a bit worried. I know what you mean, Eldu. I know what you mean. Owlcat obviously has a reputation. I love them a lot. Disclaimer, Owlcat's been very nice to me, and they're like one of my very few darling devs that haven't like kicked me in the balls too much yet, therefore I still give them a lot of leeway. End of disclaimer. I am optimistic. I'm not going to tell you, oh, the game's going to be perfect when it launches. No, it's going to break. Right, like Dark Heresy is going to like break left, right, and center once we go into 1.0. I mean, the early access for it is live right now. We played a bunch of it already. And I'm pretty sure once the Expanse goes into early access, it's also going to crash and burn left, right, and center. It's Owlcat Games. And I'm damn sure, because they're developing two things at the same time, they're probably going to like both break slightly harder than before. I'm not going to sit here and lie to you, right? But I'm incredibly excited to like explore that environment. And I know that they'll fix it, because they have every single time. Like, I do keep telling people that developers aren't your friends, right? Companies aren't your friends. You don't need to defend the multi-million-dollar corporation. But if we want to establish like a pattern of behavior, then your past 3 giant games you've done the same thing in should count for something. It should count for something. Because all 3 of these broke really, really hard and then they fixed them. Cuts both ways, right? My TV has an on-off relationship with a satellite dish and I kind of never bothered enough to fix it. Yeah, understandable. One of them was developed, sold by a dyslexic shopkeeper, correct. Shoot or shoot not, there is no try. The only thing I know about German television is Bernd das Brot. Good. That's the only thing you need to know about German television. That's the only thing you need to know about German television. Actually, no, the other thing you need to know about German television is that, and this is a personal opinion, I don't mean, no, I do obviously mean disrespect to, like, the craft. I'm sorry. I'm about to disrespect a whole lot of people. But I'm convinced that Germany has about 4 voice actors. Because every fucking show you watch, if it's like a US thing that gets translated, right? If you watch the German dub, it's always the same people. Everyone just sounds the same. I swear to fuck, we have like 2 male and 2 female voice actors. That's it. It's awful. And I know there are more. But God, it's atrocious. Absolutely atrocious. By the time you're done with another playthrough of Pathfinder Wrath of the Righteous and Rogue Trader, Dark Heresy will be in a playable state. Yeah, the sun will be setting on, like, this planet. I'm sure it'll be a Jank Fear 7 release, that's a given. Yeah, but that's what I mean by it cuts both ways, right? So the past 3 games were all jank on release, therefore established pattern, so will this one. But also, they fixed the fucking things. Therefore, I'm going to assume so they will with this one. When in German class we watch things, that's probably a bit of a different beast, Weez. That's probably a bit of a different one. Pretty sure right about German VA counts. They're about the same as Russian VAs, which is weird. I thought too. No, sometimes there are 2 female characters on screen and they do sound different, Arian. It's the same in the US. It isn't though, EA. It isn't though. Ever watch a Russian dub where one guy does all the voices? You're gonna be surprised, Krembo. You're about to be really, really surprised. No, I've never watched a Russian dub of anything. Shocking. Shocking. Never watched a Russian dub of anything. What's the heck of a show in which some dude does animal noises dubbed over the real animal ones? You already are. What do you think this show is? I constantly read any duck quacks by myself. Zoe! Hello, Zoe. I'm convinced that Zoe's biting because, like, she's not being fed enough. Do you want me to cook something for you? Would you like delicious... I'm gonna make burgers later. Do you want a burger? I'll make you a burger. It can have anything you want. Well, not anything you want on it. I'm not that rich, but it can have anything within reason that you want on it. And things that I have at home. I can't eat meat, so I get some buns for me. Oh, I can make you like a wonderful fucking tofu burger. And I mean like proper fucking tofu burger, not like, ooh, look at this, it's meat replacement. No, like properly done fucking tofu, dude. I promise that shit's gonna be good. I'm not vegan or like vegetarian whatsoever, but man, do I appreciate a good tofu dish. Ooh. Yummy? Hell yeah. Okay. Note to self, make good burger for Zoe. Drop your burger recipes, chat. That's what I forgot. Forever and a day ago, I said I was going to make a recipe channel on Discord, wasn't I? And then I never did. Oops. I need to do that again. Someone remind me after stream. Actually, someone remind me tomorrow. Eat a rock, become a litovore. This is a... Dude, this is an awful Chinese trend. Ugh. People cooking and then, like, eating rocks. Hate it. Awful. And I mean, they don't eat them. They suck on them for, like, the flavor. To, like, pretend that they've eaten food. Ugh. Watching shows in Spanish is always hella fun. Will they get whiplash when the Spanish dub is actually a Latin American one? I'm sure they also experience the opposite problem. Oh, no. It's like you're trying to watch like a German dub of something and then everyone is Swiss and you go like, what the fuck? Kind of worse than eating the rocks. It is kind of worse. So, basically you take like a bunch of like river molded rocks, right? Like not the sharp, like ground kind. You take like rounded pebbles. You clean them thoroughly. You put them in a dish and then you cook up vegetables, flavors, spices. You cook up like a mass, right? And you intermix that with rocks. Heat all of this up. That's how you serve it. And then it's just the flavor. Awful. Fucking awful. Like if you ever want to go on a horrifying deep dive, go and read up or like documentary up on like modern like Chinese beauty trends. It is horrendous. You think you've seen the worst shit when it comes to like our civilization, or when it comes to like, think of like plastic surgery in the US or some shit like this, right? Like the high society people that keep butchering themselves. We've got nothing on China, dude. We've got fuck all on China. People there are out of their mind insane. If you ever want to waste like a good weekend and all of your remaining faith in humanity, there you go. Crumble says, slab of tofu with the outside properly roasted to get that mallard reaction, but the center still gooey with a proper sauce, marinated so it's all flavored. Proper fucking flavoring. The secret to good tofu. Also, mallard reaction? Mallard? Wait. Is that how it's spelled? It's not legitimately spelled mallard, is it? I know what you mean. But like, is it spelled mallard? Anyway. The only secret to making good tofu. Melon. Okay, so good. I thought it was going insane. The only secret you need to cook good tofu is to just apply fucking flavor to it. That's it. Spices. Flavor. Tofu is I don't want to say bland, but it's just a bland sponge. Drown the fucking thing in flavor. That's what it's there for. It's just a carrier. And then prepare the thing for texture afterwards. The mistake that people make with tofu is either they lightly season it and then it's shit, or they try to like make it into a form where it's like a meat replacement when it's a really good ingredient by itself. And I will stand and die on this hill. Vegan and vegetarian food can be fantastic as long as they stop trying to make it be something it's not. All of this, oh, it's bacon, but vegan. Like all of these products are shit. All of this is dog shit. Ooh, vegetarian sausage. Awful. Never again. Disgusting. But proper like vegan and vegetarian cuisine is insanely good. And there's way more than just have a salad. Like, ooh, crispy water. No, there's like some real good shit there, dude. But it is a category of ingredients that needs to be treated correctly. And can't just be treated like the run-of-the-mill shit that you make when you're just like throwing some meat in a pan. Right? Remember, these are people who read only half of what they write. I don't speak demonic, Krembo. I don't speak demonic. I hate meat substitution. Stop substituting shit. Respect your ingredients. That. Exactly that. 100% that. There are so many good... There are so many good ingredients that people are using as like meat substitutes. Mushrooms, right? Mushrooms, fantastic. Lentils, beans, all of those are ingredients. Obviously, beans are a very wide variety of ingredients. So are mushrooms. That can be prepared in such a variety of ways that it's a disgrace to go like, oh, look, here's my meat replacement. Oh. God, the shit you can do with mushrooms alone. Oh. Check out my hamburger proxy, some vegan tabletop player. Aldo, I know you're not a Yu-Gi-Oh player, but I need you to familiarize yourself with a Yu-Gi-Oh card called Hungry Burger. Actually, I'm just gonna pull it up on stream. Hold up. I just need you all to see this. I just need you all to know. This is Hungry Burger. Oh, now he's very small. This is Hungry Burger. This card was printed in, I don't know, 2001 or some shit like this. And then they made an entire archetype around it afterwards. So eventually we got Angry Burger, which they gave it some cheese. This one's printed relatively recently, like 2022, 2023, I don't know. Wonderful. Absolutely fucking wonderful. Their Hungry Burger and Hamburger recipe, the fucking ritual spell to summon it. Awful. Absolutely awful. Burger Travel is a real thing. So it's kind of more than that. They made an archetype called Nouvelle. That's not how it's spelled. It's spelled like this. I'm going to talk about Nouvelle really quickly because I think Weiss, you're going to think this hilarious. Nouvelle is an archetype that is supposed to resemble like a French restaurant. You can kind of like see the art here. I'm too lazy to like fuck with it right now. It's supposed to be like an upper class restaurant. And originally you had her over here, Poissonnière de Nouvelle, fish chef, I think. And the entire archetype is a ritual archetype. You have your ritual spells that you use to summon monsters, and then you have your monsters. And all the ritual spells are called recette de poisson and recette de viande. So like meat recipe and fish recipe. Recette de viande. So in English, I don't know how to pronounce this, don't correct me. In the English versions of these cards, they're printed like this. Recette de viande, bracket, meat recipe, bracket closed. Fun fact, people hate this shit. So the French versions of these cards, like the French printing of these cards, obviously does not contain the brackets meat recipe, brackets closed at the end. It's just called the recette de viande and recette de poisson. So the French Nouvelle cards are actually ever so slightly more worth than other non-English based cards are when you're buying them on the secondhand market. Normally, as soon as the card isn't like originally like in English printing or in Japanese printing, like the value kind of like drops by default. The French versions of these cards are actually slightly more worth than they should be, simply because they drop the stupid fucking brackets behind. The rest of the archetype is combinations of dishes with demon names. Like this guy, for example, is called Bale Grill, like very much, you know. And the entire thing eventually summons a Hungry Burger, or it can summon a Hungry Burger. which was always bad because this card is from the year 2000, whereas this archetype isn't. So they made Hungry Burger substitute Angry Burger, which is a more up-to-date card that also interacts with the archetype. So yeah, they took an ancient fucking ritual monster and then built an entire like lore archetype around it and went like, yeah, no, fine, fuck it. There you go. And then they gave them multiple waves of support. And then they gave them multiple waves of support. Nice. What is Yu-Gi-Oh! Even about? Ask Karis if MTG didn't just have a set with like a ton of pizza on it. Don't remind me of this fucking disgrace of a set, dude. Eldu, I have built over 10 commander decks in the last week alone. Now that I'm kind of like messing with Magic again, right? Now that I'm kind of messing with Magic the Gathering again. And God, I fucking hate the turtle set so much. God, I hate this set. What a lazy piece of corporate bullshit. Ugh. Brethren, hello brethren, how you doing? Translations make funny things like these. For example, in MTG there's a card, Kadena, Slinking Sorceress. For no reason in Spanish it is named Kadena with an I? Oh, interesting. What the fuck? And I don't know why. Huh. Weird. The demon's name also puns on cooking techniques. Butterminier is a pun on bass plus a fish cutting method. That's hysterical, Whis. That's hysterical. See, there are layers to this shit. You should play Yu-Gi-Oh! Chat, you should play Yu-Gi-Oh! It's really fun. That's its problem. That's the main problem. We let it flour and then fry a fish. Is that what it's called? Isn't that called making a schnitzel? That's not what that is at all. That's not how you make schnitzel either. You just say you're doing Magic again? Maybe. I might have started a Commander pod, Magnus. I might have started a Commander pod with friends. Yeah, maybe. It's a burger that naturally layers to it. Smart. That's brutal. I still have no fucking way how to pronounce your name. No, wait. This, I'm about to like, I'm about to try and I'm going to utterly like stumble, right? Kitty Tichnek, thank you for the 2 months. That was my honest best try. I am so sorry, and I hope you're having a wonderful day. Thank you very much. You must? Of course I must. Of course I must. Please, always feel free to correct me. I didn't invite you. I invite... No, I didn't. You're right, I didn't. I'm not even going to sugarcoat that. No, I didn't. What of the second part? Okay. Kitty Brest. No, that's not right. Awful. I have no idea. I have no idea. That's my best try. Beautiful. And now put it all together. Oh no. I'm glad you're not insulted. I'm glad you're not insulted. A coworker of mine has a very, very complicated Polish name. And I can't pronounce his name either. And he's just given up on trying to teach me. I tried. I skipped the TNT Spider-Man sets entirely. I absolutely fucking hate those sets, Eldu. Not gonna lie. Both of these sets are like prime prime fucking slop. I've come around on the Avatar set. I'm not gonna lie, I've come around on the Avatar set quite a lot. Mechanically. Visually, I still don't like quite a lot of the cards. Visually, I still don't like quite a lot of the cards, but mechanically, that set's actually really, really beautiful. The Spider-Man and TMNT sets are... Holy shit, that's garbage. Like, the TMNT set is literally just reprinted mechanics on cards that kind of have, like, carbon copies in previous sets, but not in the way that they usually treat those, where they just give them alternate names if they're, like, Secret Lair, right? Absolutely awful. Unimaginative slop. And then there are a couple of cards in there that don't have anything else that you can find anywhere. Cards like Continue, for example. A wonderful like creature recursion for 2 mana, which I'm really tempted to play, but I won't be on principle. Ninja Youth. Really, really cool roll card. Would love to play that, but I'm not on principle. God, I just fucking hate that set, dude. I just absolutely fucking hate that set. Ugh. Nah. Brethren. Herman Earthman didn't know that landfall existed. Oh no, I'm pretty damn sure they knew that landfall existed, Magnus. They just didn't give a shit. You have to remember that they are probably controlled by Big Badger Mole Cub. It's so OP. It depends what you're playing in. As if Landfall wasn't already just like busted out of the ass. I don't know. Didn't care about the Avatar set, but that's more me being neutral to it instead of opposed. See, that's why I came from, Eldu. I'm gonna lose nerd cred for this, but I never watched any Avatar The Last Airbender, right? Like, I didn't watch any of the other shows, the media didn't interest me, the characters don't interest me, I don't know any of them, I don't know the story. Like, Hannah's been explaining it to me bit by bit as I put, like, random cards into my deck. Like, I don't care about the franchise. It doesn't mean anything to me. But as I've seen more and more of the cards being played, dude, a lot of them at least, like, still... Like, ignore the fact that, like, the full arts are just like, hey, here's a screenshot from the show. Like, all of that is dog shit, right? All of that is dog shit. But, like, a lot of the cards, like, still fit into a Magic universe. If you don't know where they're coming from, right? And design-wise, there's a lot of interesting mechanics in there. Like, a lot of care seems to have gone into making the set and making it a coherent set that offers something new, which is not something I can say about the fucking Turtle set. So, I didn't care about it either, but I've seen more and more of the cards on the table now, and I've seen how they interact with the rest of the game that I really like. And they've never once clashed in any way. So, the other day I made a fucking Azula deck and I gave up. Battle Cup sweep. Yeah, Battle Cup is probably, like, that card shouldn't exist. What you meant becoming the Fortnite of TCGs was not on my 2020 to 2030 bingo card. See, that's the problem, brethren. Like, a lot of people that are in the Magic the Gathering space still believe that they're not quite there. Like, a lot of them still believe that they can stop the game from going that route. And I don't, which is why I originally quit. I think that's exactly where the franchise has had it, right? The whole Fortnite-ification, corporate collab slop. That's why I originally quit. And then I got demagogued back into it. But I will say I'm having a shit ton of fun with it at the moment. I just refuse to give Wizards any of my money. Like flat out disclaimer. I just flat out refuse to give them any fucking money. Yeah, Cruel Tutor is the perfect example, Eldu. Like, that card is just commonly dog shit. I don't know what they were thinking. You just have to love her. I know nothing about the character, yeah. Hannah has been giving me background on, like, what her character is and what she actually does, and I'm like, oh yeah, cool. So, I built the deck, like, I built an entire deck, and I went like, okay, so we're just gonna name this deck Evil Bitch That Kills You. And Hannah just went, yep, that's roughly what she does. And I'm like, cool. Got it in one. Easy. Stay safe out there, Magnus. Thank you for dropping in. We are there half the sets this year are UB, more than half the sets Eldu. I know, like, I'm up on the news. I know that there is more than half the sets this year are UB. I'm aware. I don't know. The one franchise they did, I would have been all over. They showed Restraint with 40k. And this is where I'm, for once, not going to be a hypocrite, Eldo, because when they printed the 40k precons, I was really excited about those. And I am on record saying when they announced them, oh, this shouldn't be in the game. Like, these shouldn't exist. Because the only thing in there that fits, like, even closely into the Magic universe is, like, maybe the Tyranid stuff. Like, that's just too sliver adjacent to not be slivers. But, like, the 40k shit shouldn't be in either. And I fucking love 40k, right? But I also know that they've done some sets now, like the Final Fantasy sets, obviously, or the Final Fantasy set, plus the precons, plus the secret layers. Like, that was an incredibly good set as well, right? When they do these crossovers and they actually put, like, care into designing them, then they can go well. Like, I think the Final Fantasy set is universally beloved, except the fact that it's scalped to hell and back, so, like, you can't buy the fucking thing for a reasonable price, right? And I do think the Avatar set falls into the same line. But both of those are universes that still can sort of be... You can kind of, like, envision that just being a plane, right? You can kind of just envision that being a plane, and there's still, like, fantasy settings. There's still a world where that can be unified into, like, a grand vision. But, like, all of the superhero Marvel shit? Like, no. Like, absolutely fucking not. What the fuck? There's nothing there that comes even close. It's just corporate money slop. That's all it is. They make Warframe UB cards. I already own some Warframe altars, so you guys have any spare kidneys? I'd hate that too. Like, I said it for the franchises that I like. Like, give me a Monster Hunter collab. But, like, even for the franchise that I like, I don't think this should exist. Didn't care for the FF set either, but it seems like at least they took their time with the cards. Not only did they take their time with the cards, Eldu, but they designed them visually in such a way that they can fit into the universe. They designed them mechanically so that they're interesting, and also just, like, a really good representation of the source material. And it's just... God, there's so many fucking... Like, except Vivi. Fuck Vivi. All my homies hate Vivi for ruining multiple formats. But, like, goddamn, those cards are cool. I'd buy a Tigrex full art card. Yeah, so would I. Absolutely. I need like a Narga Kuga altar. That's what I need. I don't know. It's in a weird place. It's certainly in a weird place. But I've only been, like, back looking at stuff for, like, a couple of weeks now. Like, I'm still catching up on, like, all of the cards I missed. Like, I'm pretty up to date with the news, but there's a shitload of cards that I've missed. And let's be honest, like, even when I was active playing, I didn't know every bloody card that was ever printed. There's, like, a couple 30,000 cards, right? So, Naga would be what? Green? Yeah, very much so. Actually, no, brethren. Well, baseline Narga, maybe. Silverwind Narga is a Dimir card. Like 1,000,000,000%, like, blue-black. They did the Monster Hunter Secret Lair? Yeah. They had to throw it back because people complained the choices were uninspiring. Because they were. That was an awful concept. Absolutely awful concept. Now, like, make fucking precons. I don't know. Or don't. You know what? Just, like, stick in your own bloody universe. Make something cool there. How about that? Kind of excited for Strixhaven. But we'll see how it goes. We'll see how the releases go this year. The the way that I'm going to be going forward with it is I am not going to be buying any product from Wizards at all. I have freshly ordered some singles from like the secondhand market because one of the decks that I just put together I liked so much that I decided, hey, I want to own this in paper. So I have ordered about 80 of those cards. But I'm not going to give Wizards any fucking money. Like, I'm not. I can't. That company sucks to high heaven. We play online to begin with. And that's that. That is that. Hichi! Hello, Hichi! How are you doing? Hope you've been well. I've been busy as hell. How are you? How is the new surrounding working out? I have immense problems finding words today. I don't know whether you can tell. You can probably tell. Acclimatizing was the word I was looking for. How are you acclimatizing? Hope you're right back in your element. They just threw Phyrexia off the deep end. I want more creepy organic mecha things. I mean, they didn't really throw it off the deep end. It had like an entire story arc, right? March of the Machines was like an entire cycle. Not a good one, won't you? I don't think March of the Machines was like all that great, but I personally really like Phyrexia. I've always liked Phyrexia. Like back in the olden like Urza cycles, I liked Phyrexia a lot. Like when they were like really fucking body horror, right? Modern Phyrexia is just like, okay, here's a monstrosity. And then unless you're looking at Elish Norn, it's all just like, I don't want to call them tame, but like it's all tame, right? Whereas like old Phyrexian designs were monstrous. Like holy fucking shit, dude. But there's a lot of like modern designs that I think are cool, at least. The story's ending sucked butts. Yeah, but War of the Spark also sucked ass, Ring Song, so like the way that War of the Spark ended was also ass. Like, I guess they had to keep like hold the record or something. Most events would be partial black-white. I don't know about that. I don't know about that at all. Like, why would you put them into Orzhov? Orzhov is like a lot of death, recursion, aristocrat bullshit. And to be honest, that's probably the color combination I think the least of when I think of deviants and like variants, brethren. It's probably like one of the last ones that I would think of. Simply because Monster Hunter like usually doesn't deal in those themes, right? Like once you kill something, it doesn't come back. Once it's dead, it's dead, and usually things are by themselves. Like a lot of them would probably be Boros. Ikoria exists, which already works as a Monster Hunter inspired plane. Just return to Ikoria and let people make altars if they want. Yeah, you could just do that. I never really liked Ikoria all that much. Doing good. First day of work starts today. Move is fantastic. I'm so in love with my new place. Hell yeah! Hell yeah, hell yeah. Glad to hear it, glad to hear it. First day of work, because going back to streaming, or first day of, did you pick up something else on the side? Trying to get back into lurking habits now that everything is settling down. Sorry about being missing in action. Don't be sorry whatsoever. I am so glad that you've arrived in a new place. I'm so glad it went well. And I'm glad you're loving where you are right now. That matters way more. And I'm glad you're back. Aren't demons mostly angry? Slap red on them, bad boys? Yeah, that's why I went Boros. Like, Orzhov just like really doesn't fit. Zendika and Mirrodin were also sets I really liked. Honestly, Magic the Gathering has so many good world settings, all collab stuff. It's where I fell off the game. So I'm gonna be biased on this, Ring Song. I started Magic the Gathering in the first Mirrodin cycle. Just before the first Mirrodin cycle started, me and my friends at the time started playing Magic the Gathering. And for me, Mirrodin will always be... It's like everyone's first Final Fantasy is their favorite Final Fantasy, right? Every single fucking time. Mirrodin will always be one of my favorite planes. Because that's when we bought the most amount of fucking cards. And that's when we played the most Magic. That and Kamigawa. Like, first Kamigawa cycle as well. It was so fucking fun. Like, I still have like a completed Mirrodin collection from all three of the first three sets from the first cycle. I have a full Kamigawa collection from the first from those sets from that cycle as well. And God, I fucking love those sets. They were so fucking cool. Unfortunately, Mirrodin, also one of those blocks where competitive play or like tournament play wasn't great. Affinity for artifacts. But like Mirrodin specifically I have a really big soft spot for. Mechanical lag is muted, but I understand why people don't like it. I like mutate quite a lot, Whis, but the way that mutate was recently that we recently talked about mutate in our group was mutate is the mechanic that you play if you want to play Digimon, but none of your friends want to play the Digimon card game, because that's what mutate is. Mutate is just, I turned this game into Digimon the 2020 TCG. By the way, you should play Digimon, fantastic game. Marinara! Hello, Marinara. You can change your class, you know? You can change your class. If you type exclamation mark, change set class, space, Spoonmancer, then there you go. Fun fact, I'm going to full Mirrodin by the hell yeah, Whis, hell yeah. And Tally, good afternoon, Tally. Hello, hello. When it even taxes you for fighting him, we could put him on Orzhov. Uh-huh. Somewhere in the background on a cliff, you see a fucking blood artist painting you. Started on Zendikar, but a bunch of my colleagues at the time were still playing Mirrodin stuff, so I got to see their cards. Hell yeah. Phyrexia Mirrodin came along, and well, I love that too. Phyrexia Mirrodin is one of those sets that I like didn't really take part in because like at that time I had other problems. I wasn't really playing Magic. So like there's a lot of cards in there that I don't know anything about, but I know the general gist of it. Honestly, I have no idea how competitive play felt around the time. I can tell you. So affinity for artifacts is obviously a mechanic that says for every artifact that you control, pay one less to pay this card. Skull Clamp wasn't banned. So what you did was you had a bunch of cards called Arcbound cards. Chief amongst them, Arcbound Ravager. And Arcbound were artifact creatures that have a line on them that says Modular X. They're all 0/0 creatures, but they come into play with X +1/+1 counters. So for example, like the small fucker was like a 1 mana, 2 mana? 1 mana, I think. 0/0 modular 1. So it just came into play with a 1/1 counter. And then the second part of the modular rule says when this creature leaves the field, you can take any +1/+1 counters on it and put it on another artifact creature you control. Arcbound Ravager also had the line of saying, hey, sacrifice another artifact, give this thing +1/+1. So what you did was you played like you just played artifacts, right? Mirrodin had freshly printed artifact lands. Skull Clamp existed. The what's the fucking equipment that says +1/+0 for every artifact you control? That existed. Ornithopters were there. Frogmites were a 4 mana 2/2 with affinity for artifacts that was good enough to play. We played this like 7 mana 4/4, which was just like a big Myrrh with affinity for artifacts. And it was just that. You were vomiting your hand onto the board turn 1. You were skull clamping all of the small Arcbound stuff, and then you were just sacking artifacts into Ravager. Which procced, like every time you sacked an artifact, you dealt damage to your opponent, and then Ravagers attacked for game. It was awful. Like, Affinity was downright awful to play. I say that, that's the deck I played. Fucking love that deck. Unplayable dog shit. Like, not unplayable as in bad, but like unplayable as in not enjoyable at all. Hey, Slipsum, how are you doing? I stopped after War of the Spark, just fell off interest overall. I only started back at the Final Fantasy set, but I don't play mainly because scheduling. I don't think I have fun on Arena. I mean, I don't even play on Arena, Zinni. We play on Tabletop Simulator. Arena is too much giving Wizards of the Coast money. And I'm not gonna support that shit. Fuck them. What were they smoking with the new Witherbloom Dragon? I'm sure Affinity for Creatures will not be a problem with some Wizards guy. Fuck Affinity for Creatures, Eldu. Did you see that Prismari gives everything you cast Storm? Did you see that? Yeah, sure, it's a 7 mana Izzet color. Sure. Have fun with that, idiots. But then the fucker literally says, every instant and sorcery you play has Storm. Why? 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 I guess sometimes you just need Opt to be the thing that kills everyone, huh? Oh, looking forward to that set, though. Really looking forward to that set. But at least it costs 7. Yeah, and at least Izzet doesn't have any ramp, right? Unrelated, Eldo, what's a treasure token? Witherbloom's gonna cost 2 and you know it. I mean, Witherbloom is in green-black, right? So, it's in Golgari, right? Yeah, that's gonna cost 2. Absolutely. You know what I'm going to do with it? I'm going to make a bunch of fucking mushroom tokens. That's what I'm going to do. We're just going to make a bullshit load of mushroom tokens and then we're just going to Witherbloom for 2. Stupid. I played Blue-Black Control around the end of Phyrexia, start of Innistrad. I stopped playing that deck whenever I wasn't in actual competitive play. It was terrible to play with friends. I'm an Esper player, Ringsong. I play white, blue, black Control. Also awful colors to make friends. Awful colors to make friends with. To the point where now that I'm playing again, I have to stop myself from going back to my favorite color set. And you know what? That's even harder because they printed one of my favorite characters in all of video gaming in those colors. Like fucking printed Ishtola as an Esper card. And I couldn't be more mad. I could not be more mad. And now I'm trying not to play Esper. 4 mana mana double artifact for instant and sorcery. Oh, I didn't even see that yet. Well, the problem isn't like necessarily that, Zinni. The problem is getting Prismari out in the first place. Something Dockside. Wait, no. Why should I play Magic with you? Because it's fun. You can go infinite with it, just him and Sprout Swarm. Here's the thing. Every pod that I play in has one very, very basic rule. If you go infinite, you're an asshole. Done. So I don't need to worry about that. Because if you go infinite, you're an asshole. Caveat to that rule. If you go infinite with your own cards, you're an asshole. If you go infinite with the cards your opponent has, you're a genius. Never played straight up Esper deck. I often play white, blue, or blue, black. I mean, yeah, but Azorius is a different flavor of bullshit. Ringsong, right? Like, Azorius is a different flavor. So is Dimir. Like, Dimir is a lot of, like, bullshit avoidance, right? And Azorius is just flat out stacks. Esper is all of that. Just didn't have good Esper support. I mean... Technically, if you squint at it, Winter Orb is Esper support. No, we're not propagating war crimes here. No. No. Not more than normal, anyway. Not more than normal. So. Ducklings, I have great and I have bad news for you all. The great news is I'm going to stay true to my word today. And it is going to be a very short stream. The bad news is we're not going to even get to play boats. We're not going to even get to play boats today. So for those of you that don't know, my mom took the kids canoeing over the weekend. We're a canoeing family. I grew up in a bloody boat. So did my siblings. So did my mom. And like she picked up the kids on Friday and was like, "Hey, we're getting the camper out and we're going canoeing over the Easter weekend. Do you want to come?" And both of them went crazy and went like, "Yeah." I just saw them drive up the driveway, so they're back. We learned about boats, and that's half the battle. Exactly. So that's the other reason why today's stream is short. Didn't quite know when they were going to be back, but they are. So I'm now going to be listening to a lot of weekend stories. I already know that my son fell face first into the riverbank and ate a face full of mud. There's a couple of rites of initiation that you have to go through when you go canoeing. Trying to get into the boat and therefore tipping it over and falling into the river. Trying to get out of the boat and therefore tipping it over and falling into the river. Trying to eat a sandwich in the boat and losing it to a duck that's really, really hungry around you. Slipping down the riverbank and just going face first. All of these are just rites of initiation. I'm really looking forward to the stories. I know they had fun. So, with an incredibly short start of week stream, thank you everybody. The rest of the week will be normal time, normal length, normal everything. Hope to see you all tomorrow when Quill and Hannah are back, and we're gonna have a second look at Eversiege. Thanks, everybody. I don't usually end at this time. Hell, a couple weeks ago, this was roughly the time when we started streaming. So let me see whether we can find anyone to throw you all that. Yo, Izzy's playing. I haven't been able to raid Izzy in forever. So. Thank you all for being here and hanging out. Thanks for chatting, everyone. Just a casual little yap stream like this. That did me some good. I enjoyed that. Really, really did. Everybody stay safe out there. I hope you have a great rest of your day or night or evening, whatever it currently is, wherever you are. See you tomorrow. And with that, goodbye.